look, if I compare the doubly reinforced beam section, suppose this is the doubly reinforced beam section, where I have told you several times that in the lower portion we have reinforcement as well as in the upper portion we have the reinforcement. So here it is B and overall depth is D. Now it can be represented as summation of two separate beams. What is those beams? Look, first one is the, considering it as a, first one is the yes, so first one is the, considering it as a singly reinforced beam. Singly reinforced beam. This is you simply consider as a singly reinforced beam. Plus second one is the, in this portion we need to provide the reinforcement for the extra moment which is not carried by the singly reinforced beam sections. And also if you give the nomenclature, this one is AST, so it will be AST1 and it will be AST2, and this one is the ASC that I have told earlier. ASC means area of steel under compression, this is area of steel under tension, this is area of steel under tension. So this is AST1 due to when you consider it as a singly reinforced beam design. And yes, so yes, the thing you need to understand that suppose you need to make a beam, you need to design a beam in such a way that it can take the moment of 200 kilonewton meter, suppose. Now firstly what you need to do at the time of beam design, you consider the beam is as a singly. Now as per your dimension you determine what is the moment of resistance, or yes, what is the moment of resistance considering it as a singly reinforced beam section. So suppose after determination your value will coming around 150 kilonewton meter. So what is the extra moment? What is the extra moment that is remaining? Definitely it will fail because singly reinforced beam section it is taking only 150, but you need at least 200. So what is the extra moment? Extra moment is 200 minus 150, 50 kilonewton meter. This is the extra moment, and for this extra moment you need to consider this section. This is the main thing that I need to show. I hope you understand. Repeating once again, look, this is the doubly reinforced beam section, this is the doubly reinforced beam section, and you can write this is as a combination of two beam section. First one is considered as a singly reinforced beam section, and the extra moment which you get, that is after subtracting the moment of this singly reinforced beam section, that will be designed as this one. Okay, and here basically you will get AST2, you can see this one is AST2 and this one is the ASC, that means area of steel under compression. This is the area of steel under tension for the balanced moment, and this is the area of steel under tension by considering it as a singly reinforced beam section, and this is the doubly reinforced beam section that finally when you got the values you can put it over here. So this is the technical description of the designing of doubly beam section. So rest of the part is very easy. There we just need I will show you the steps or the procedure how you can design a doubly reinforced beam sections. Okay, so let us continue with the design step of doubly reinforced beam section. That is very easy. Okay, so when you start any kind of design, that means analysis, there are some basic considerations are there. There are some basic considerations are there. So here also we will have some considerations. What are they? It is very important. RC sections in bending failure, RC sections in bending failure, or you can say RC sections in bending fails when the compression stress, when the compression strain in the concrete reaches the value of that is 0.0035. Why it says like this? Look, when I show you the strain diagram, you can see at the extreme end the value of the strain is 0.0035. It is at the extreme end. So if this value increase, that means if the strain value is greater than this, so definitely the beam will collapse. It will fail in the concrete. There will be cracks in the concrete, and it definitely it will be fail. Now coming to the second one, that is the plane sections remain plane even after bending. Plane section remain same even after bending. Okay, and the third one, that is the stress at any point in steel and concrete can be taken as equal to the stress corresponding to the strain at that point of the stress strain graph for the material. There are separate graphs are given in the code, from which I need to determine the stress for the strain. Okay, in limit state design method, strain is very important. Strain is giving a very important role. So we will see the value of the strain, because strain is equal for the RCC, and that means the steel bar as well as the concrete. So we will determine the strain value, then we will determine the corresponding stress value for the steel or the concrete separately. Okay, that is the point given here. So let's write the stress at any point in steel and concrete can be taken as equal to the stress corresponding to the strain at that point. At that point of the stress strain graph. Of the stress strain graph for the material. So let's go through this. RC section in bending fails when compression strain in the concrete reaches the value of 0.0035. Plane sections 0035 means I have shown you in the strain diagram at the extreme end the value of the strain is 0.0035. So when it reaches that value the beam will fail. Plane section remains same even after bending. This is given in the code. The stress at any point in steel and concrete can be taken as equal to the stress corresponding to the strain at that point of the stress strain graph for the material. That means if you are a little bit confusing about this particular point, look, let's make it clear. At the time of derivation you can determine the strain value. Okay, you can determine the strain value. Suppose here, suppose you have the strain diagram. You know the strain diagram is something like this. This is a strain diagram where the top value is 0.0035. Now suppose you are getting a level which is at a certain distance x. So at this level you can able to determine this strain value, this level. Suppose this is sigma x, epsilon x. So that strain value you can determine. How you determine? Because you know this distance, that is xu, depth of neutral axis. You also know this x value. So by triangular theorem you can able to determine this epsilon x. Okay, now when you determine this epsilon x, suppose that will give, suppose this is m. So we need to determine the corresponding value of stress of this strain. Okay, so for that you go to the code, and here if you want to determine the stress for the concrete, then follow this diagram. You can see in this side you have strain and in this side you have stress. So depending on the value of the strain you can determine the stress for the concrete. This is for the concrete. Now if you need to determine the stress for the steel, then you need to follow this diagram. If you have torch steel, generally we have torch steel Fe415. So in this direction you can see you have the strain value, and in this direction you can have the stress value, right? So depending on the value of the strain you can determine the stress. So this is the thing that, and this is for the steel, torch steel, and this diagram is for the mild steel. Okay, so from this diagram you can determine the stress. So this is the thing I want to discuss. So these are the basic considerations for the doubly reinforced beam section design. Okay, so now let us continue with the analysis part of the doubly reinforced beam section. So analysis part, let us write analysis of doubly reinforced beam section. Okay, now in this analysis part let us draw a doubly reinforced beam section. Suppose we have here 3 reinforcement, and suppose we have here 2 reinforcement. Okay, now if we consider this is the neutral axis, we can draw the strain diagram in such a way and what is the value here? That is 0.0035. Here it is Fy by 1.15 Es plus 0.002 this one is B, this one is D, and this one is how much? D dash. I have told you, na? So we can determine the stress block diagram as well. Up to this distance we have straight line, then we have this kind of thing, parabolic shape, and here we have two forces. One is due to the steel CS and one is due to the concrete, that is CC. Tensile force will be single T, okay, and this is 0.446 FCK, the stress value, and here this distance is D dash and this distance is 0.42 XU. Clear? Now as we have in the compression zone two forces, one is due to the steel and one is due to the concrete, so we can write that C equals to CS plus CC, okay, and what is C? That is the total force in concrete. Done. This is the total force in concrete, and what will be the total moment then? Mu. Total moment will be, one is due to the CS and one is due to the CC. So if we consider first one, that means maybe this one CC, so CC into the lever arm, and what is that lever arm? That lever arm is this one, okay, and when you consider the CS, the lever arm will be this one. So you can write CC into D minus 0.42 XU plus CS into D minus D dash. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Now no need to worry, I will give you the step by step procedure. In step 1 what you need to do, step 2, in such a way you just remember that thing and it will be very much easy, the designing of doubly reinforced beam section. Let us continue. So the analysis of beam. Step 1. In step 1 what we need to do, calculate the mu1, calculate the mu1 for concrete failure. For concrete failure as a singly reinforced beam. As a singly reinforced beam. That means what? Simply you need to determine the moment, which is also given in the code as well. If you open the clause number or annexure G, there you will find this formula. I have also told you how to get this formula. This is basically C into Z. Mu limit equals to 0.36 XU max by D into 1 minus 0.42 XU max by D BD square FCK. So by using this you can get the value of the mu1. Okay, and if you one more thing you can use, that is the shortcut process. I have told you how to get the formula. That is, for suppose you write this mu1 equals to 0.149 FCK Vd square. This is for the Fe250 equals to 0.138 FCK Vd square. This is for the Fe415, and this is for the 0.133 FCK Vd square, and this is for Fe500. Now you may ask, sir, you have shown us the formula given in the code, so how you get this value? Actually, from that code equation, from this equation, you can able to get that value as well. How? Let us show you. I will show you any one single value. Suppose for Fe415, this value how you will get, I will show you. Okay, look here. In this formula, if you put the value of this xu max by d here and here, just only in two places, if you put the value of this xu max by d, you can able to get that value. How? Look, first determine what is the value of this xu max by d for which grade of concrete? Fe415. For that you go to page number 69. Yes, you can see this is the value Fe415, and for this Fe415 you can see this is Fy and this is xu max by d. Now with respect to this value Fy, we have the xu max by d 0.48. So you just need to put this value there in the equation. Where is the equation? Yes, this one. So here you simply put the value, that is how much? 0.48, right? That I have shown 0.48 here also and here also. When you put here 0.48, that will gives you 0.13 FCK Vd square. Let us show you. Look, I will first solve this the portion which is inside the bracket. So 0.42 into 0.48, so 0.2016. So let's 1 minus 0.2016. Now it should be multiplied with 0.48, that should be multiplied with 0.36. Look here, 0.137963, it is near about 0.138. So in this way I got the value, this one. Is it clear to all of you? Look here, I have got this value 0.138 FCK Vd square for Fe415. Similarly, if you put the value of Fe250 and Fe500, you can also get the value. And if you now one question may arise, that said you can determine the value of this 250, 415 and 500. What about others? Because we have more grades are there, 550, 600 TMT bars, various advertisements are there, right? So how can we determine the XU max by D? Actually for these three cases we know the value of the XU max by D. These ratios are known for these three gates. Actually these three are given in the code, but what about others? If you go through the previous 2 or 3 lectures in this limit state design method, in design of singly reinforced beam design, there I have shown how you can determine this XU max by D value for the other grades of concretes. Okay, so you can also see the video and you can determine. And if you know the XU max by D value, generally in the question only these three gates are there, but if in real cases, that means if you are going to design your own building, for that cases you need those values. Okay, so let's move on.